top 3 scariest monsters in the world. 1. Joragumo, the terrifying mythological Japanese spider seducer. In Japanese mythology, a Joragumo was a deadly hybrid creature that could transform from a spider into a beautiful woman to seduce victims to their death. The story goes that when a Joragumo spider, a common species found in Japan, reached 400 years, it gained the power to shapeshift and developed an appetite for human flesh. Disguised as beautiful women, the Joragumo were able to enchant and lure men into their web of lies. Their webs were constructed of silk thread so robust that once trapped, no man could possibly escape. The Joragumo would then administer their lethal venom, gradually weakening their victim, to savor their prey as long as possible. A slow and painful demise for their sorry victim. 2. Gashadokuro, the skeletal giant of Japan. Ashadokuro are gigantic skeletal mythological creatures amalgamated from the bones of human skeletons. In situations of mass death, such as famines or wars, individuals could not receive proper funeral rites, and thus were unable to move on after death. As their bodies decayed, their souls became twisted with wrath and resentment towards the living. Their souls and bones merged into one enormous being called a Gashadokuro, translated as the starving skeleton. 3. Penanggalan, the Malay disembodied vampire. Penanggalan are infamous mythological creatures known by different names throughout Southeast Asia. In Malay myth, a Penanggalan was once a mortal woman who performed witchcraft and black magic. A popular version of the myth states that one woman agreed to become vegetarian for 40 days in exchange for youthful beauty. Ultimately, she broke her pact and was cursed to become a flesh-eating Penanggalan. During the day, she resembled an ordinary woman, but at night her head would detach from her body, floating around with her trailing entrails. This disembodied figure flew around searching for sustenance in the form of pregnant women and infants, draining them of their blood. Those fed on by this vampiric creature ended up contracting a fatal disease. Returning to her abode, a Penanggalan would soak herself in vinegar to shrink her organs back into her body. A Penanggalan, therefore, could be recognized during the day by this telltale smell of vinegar.